All right. Long overdue, but here it is, episode 3, Squeakin' with Squishy. I'm your host, Squishy. I was sitting here and I was debating how to start this and how I'm gonna word things and how I'm gonna get through. I have a list of catching up to do here. And I was just not pressing record. And I'm just wondering why. And I quit in not pressing record. I just pressed it. And maybe this sounds dumb a little bit, but it's here. This is episode 3. My last podcast was July 18th. Wow, pretty close. July 18th, 2021. So 4 years now, just a little over 4 years. And I'm going to fill you in. This episode is going to be completely just filling you in from the last podcast to now and how my life is going, and I'll talk about some random things, throughout the way. But anyway, here it is. Okay. So the first thing on the list is the TSK naked jump. So every year around Labor Day, Skydive the Ranch has a week dedicated to having fun with skydivers, and it's a festival, and it's great. It's called TSK. It stands for Team Sunkissed. And during TSK of 21, I did my first naked skydive, which was very interesting. I For those of you who actually skydive and know about this, I don't know if you've actually seen the skydive, but I shaved a closing pin into my pubes. I thought that was funny. It was cool. Anyway, so there was about 21 of us who did the naked skydive, and I was told to wait until the base formed in order to get in. And I was at my slot, I was waiting, but when we first jumped, it was like so freeing, like an air bath. Like it was a great feeling. And I was waiting at my slot, kind of tunneled in and got destroyed. So we didn't ended up, getting together, doing the round. The parachute was fine. It did kind of feel weird to have everything like hanging. That was odd, but whatever. After the skydive though, super painful. My nuts hurt so bad, and because of that, I've dubbed the term blue sky balls. Like blue balls, but blue sky balls, because that's how it feels after you skydive. It hurts. I guess your nuts flapping in the wind at 120 miles per hour isn't like comfortable, you know? All right, so that's that. In August, in August 23rd, I did a marathon, my first marathon and my only marathon. The Sri Chinmoy, I think. A little sorry, but I did that marathon. That was interesting. I took too long to get there, so I couldn't really stop and get like a little sandwich and something proper to drink. So I had a Milky Way and a Red Bull during, like, right before the marathon, and then I ran the marathon. It was hard as fuck. Honestly, it was a little boring because it was a 9-mile loop 3 times. So like, I wanted to kind of experience more. So if I do another marathon, it'll be something that's no loops. I'm gonna make sure I'm not doing any loops. So if you plan on doing a marathon, maybe that's something to look for, just in case, if you like the scenic route. If you don't care, then whatever, you know. So that was interesting. That was a part of one of my goals, a journey of 1,000 miles, and it's basically to jog 1,000 miles. So that was a part of it. During this same excursion, adventure, right, the journey, on September 20th, I'm running in Classen Point Park. It's like 9:30 at night ish, and I'm running, and then it opens up to a field. Like the trail kind of opens up into a field, and as I survey the field, for the first time since it's opened up, I see a pit bull maybe like 30 feet away from me ish, something like that, starts running at me. And I ran at night, and I prepared, like, not not prepared in the sense of like bringing weapons with me, but I'm ready to fight an animal. You know, I don't want to, but I'm gonna defend myself against an animal. So I think about that a lot in my mind, just in case like a coyote comes or something like that. So this dog starts running at me, like 30 feet away, 9:30 at night, and I love dogs, so I gave it an opportunity, and I was like, "Hi, baby," like how I do with normal dogs, right? And it was so friendly. It came up to me and it's like kissing me and it's wagging its tail and it's jumping into me so hard. It's like headbutting me in the face. Like my head is popping back, like I'm getting punched in the face. And it was like so nice. And I'm petting it and I'm like lost in like the petting, right? And then I'm like, okay, you know, I've been petting this dog for like a minute or two. Like I'm waiting for someone to come by and be like, oh my God, I'm sorry. It's my dog. I apologize. They're friendly. And I was going to be like, okay, no problem. Nothing. They were just silence, and I'm petting this dog and I'm trying to find out like what's going on. No one's there, and I call out, nobody. The dog had a leash. I take it by the leash, by the collar rather. I take it by the collar and I'm walking it around. I'm like, hello, trying to find this dog. I go outside. There's a police officer out there, and I'm like, hey, listen, I just found this dog. Like, what should I do with it? And he tells me to put it back. He wants me to put a pit bull back in empty park at 11 o'clock at night. Anyway, so my sister works in the Humane Society, so we kept the dog overnight and then sent it to the Humane Society after that. And I was calling him Jacare because that's alligator in Portuguese, and the dog had like a very wide like muzzle, like it was like super wide, so he looked like an alligator. So I was calling him Jacare, like because I named him, because I kind of planned on keeping him, but didn't end up keeping him. So that's Jacare. I competed on October 23rd. It says jump question mark, but I competed on October 23rd. That was an interesting day. That day I lost to someone, they beat somebody, and I beat them. So it's like a three-way tie sort of thing. Like a Ronda Rousey, Misha Tate, Holly Holm sort of situation. That was cool. There was one part we were starting in a spider. For again, like there's gonna be certain things in this, and I'm sorry for people who don't skydive or do jiu-jitsu or you know other things that I do. There's gonna be certain things in here that I'm saying like specifically that you won't really know unless you do the thing or if you're interested enough in searching it up. So I'm gonna apologize in advance. I'm sorry, but I was competing. We were in overtime, and it was we were in overtime, and we was in spiderweb. And sorry, I just got a call, and I'm like, damn, I kind of should pick that up, but I really need to do this. So we were in spiderweb, and I asked him, I'm like, can we do a bicep slicer? And he said, yeah. And I went for the bicep slicer. As I'm going for the bicep slicer, he releases his grip on the holding his own arm to defend from the arm bar, and then I get him in an arm bar. So that was cool. Hot air balloon, that was nice. I jumped from a hot air balloon. I skydived from a hot air balloon. It was like 4,000 feet, and it was cool. I wore a helmet, which I think in the future, if I do it again, I won't wear a helmet, which I get it's like more dangerous, but like it feels so separated because of the helmet, if that makes sense. I don't know, but it makes sense to me. Again, so on this journey of 1,000 miles, I'm jogging somewhere, and this animal jumps down from like a 5 foot, 6 foot wall, like 5.5 feet maybe, wall on the trail. And I'm like, oh, I stop, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like a dog to me. So I stopped, it stopped, it turned around, I turned around, and we both just went our separate ways, just literally opposite. Like we came up to each other, stopped, turned around, and just went, right? 2 weeks later, something like that, I go into the same path, like that's the normal path that I take. It jumps down, I stop, it stops, but instead of going the other way, I guess it got curious and it started trotting over to me. So it trotted over to me. It's maybe like 6 feet away from me. It's a coyote. I realized that and coyotes look weird as hell. They're like dogs with like little faces. It's odd. So it just kind of trotted up to me, and then it ran past me. So that was interesting. I was ready for that coyote. I think I would have won. But that was an interesting experience. For new, like Christmas into New Year's for 2021 going into 2022, I went to uh I went to Florida. I was trying to think of what actual drop zone. I believe it was Sebastian, um, or Z Hills, maybe. I think it was Z Hills. Anyway, we played dodgeball, and we were all chill, and it wasn't like, um, it wasn't anything wild. I guess no, it was kind of wild, but it was during COVID, and we played dodgeball, and we took shots from the same bottle before playing dodgeball. So that was interesting. Before going to this, before going to Florida, I did 993 miles out of 1,000. So I had, no, 992 rather, sorry. I had 8 miles to do left when I got there, when I got to Florida. I did 7 miles, and I ran like along train tracks, which is nice because I feel like there's not a lot of train tracks that you can kind of like run across in New York. So I ran across a set of train tracks, and that was cool. And then that was 7 miles. Then I had 1 mile left, and I decided to run around the DZ with my parachute on to kind of make it hard, you know, make like that last mile like a little rougher. So I was going into 2022. 2022 in this year, I got vaccinated on January 10th, which I didn't want to. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if you're mad about that. I don't know if you're upset. I didn't want to get vaccinated at all. I had no desire to get vaccinated. I am an athlete, and I already had COVID at the time. I already got COVID rather. So I saw no interest, like no reason for me to actually get the vaccine. I just didn't care for it. Like I know athletes were affected by the vaccine more than other people because of the heart, whatever. So I wasn't interested, but I got it anyway because I had to go back to work because money, you know, you need that. I competed April 30th, and I did probably one of the most like douchebag things I've ever done, at least in jiu-jitsu. I have this submission that I like to do. It's getting more known now. It's called the goth lock, but it's basically like an Americana, but with your legs from scarf hold. So we ended up right by where my phone was recording on the table, and I like grabbed the phone and I tilted it towards us before I finished him, which I'm usually very respectful. Like if, you know, you're watching this video and you've competed with me, unless you're that one guy, I think we were fine. You know, actually with that one guy, we were okay too, but you know, I felt rude after that. I don't know if he even cared, but I felt rude. Freddie's wedding. That was in June of 2022. That was nice. It was my first wedding as an adult, I think. I don't feel like I went to any other wedding as a grown man, so that was cool. It was interesting to experience. It was nice. They had donuts on the wall. It's like a bacon donut. I can't really say like much about it. I guess it was nice, and it was, you know, it was like everything a wedding is supposed to be, I feel like. So the next year, TSK, this is 2022 TSK, mid to end August. I slept on the Space Net from like Saturday going into Sunday. I slept on the Space Net. I'm in the middle of TSK, and I'm knocked the fuck out. I woke up at like 11, 12 o'clock, and people are up way before that, right? And Tyler's, I'm not gonna say your last name, but Tyler, said that he's going to a concert and he'll be back, like in the morning or like at like midnight or something. He's gonna be back. He's gonna come back after the concert. Then he's gonna like spend the night. Couldn't find him. He didn't come back after the concert. He went home and slept, whatever. And so we made a video called "Where's Tyler?" And I got a bunch of people. Like I just asked them where Tyler was, and maybe I should post it. I think I'll post it. Yeah. Let's see. So October 5th, it's my birthday. It was nice. I just kind of hung out. I chilled. I didn't really do like much, I guess. Kind of just a relaxing birthday. Um, Invasion. It says Invasion and Christmas. 1-3-23. Anyway, TS ski was March 23rd. I went snowboarding, which was cool. I finally got the hang of it. Like, I feel like I know how to snowboard. I'm not good or like great by any means, but I can snowboard. I can stop. I can go, and I can stay up for the most part. Uh, so this is around the time that I was talking to someone. I knew that it wasn't going anywhere, but like it was nice. It was very cool. We were very compatible, and it just kind of like progressed. But then, because of predetermined conditions, it wasn't gonna go anywhere, so it didn't. Yeah. May 13th, I took my god sister Diamond skydiving. Also, my godmother, Miriam, and her friend Lee skydiving. And they loved it. It was great. I had so much fun, like, bringing them to go skydive. I was very happy to be able to, like, accompany them on this very special moment in their lives. So that was cool for me. I love taking people skydiving. I love having people have that great experience, you know? I've never had anyone had a bad experience, so I don't have any other thing to go off. And then on June 5th, my cat Midnight died. And it was hard. I love my cat, and like, I'm a dog person, not gonna lie, like, but I love my cat. He super chill. Midnight just, you know, got a tumor. That's what happened. I just went through number 1. There's 5. Okay, so please, if you don't want to hear me talk, I mean, I don't know why you're here, to be fair, but just bear with me. Okay, this is still 2022. The air quality was bad because of some fires in Jersey. I think the air quality in New York was bad. So that was cool. Like, you went outside and everything was orange. Like, that was a very interesting time. It's like that's like something that doesn't really happen in our, like, that's never happened in my lifetime, at least not that I can remember. So it was cool to experience. Like, I was outside. They said air quality was bad, but like, whatever. I'll live, or I won't. You know. Juneteenth, I did 4 skydives. I did one belly with Joe. I did a head down with Tyler. I did a head down to sit with Tyler and Gia. A head down to sit with Tyler and Gia and Felipe. And then I did, that was that day. That was when I jumped then. I did a Zach Bryan concert on June 23rd. That was nice. I didn't really know much about Zach Bryan until Tyler invited me to his concert. So I listened to some of his songs there. And he has really nice songs, really like feel good, kind of country-ish songs. My car died while I was there because I think I left the lights on like a dickhead, and Tyler gave me a boost, so that was cool. This says 626 City Field. I'm pretty sure it was just like a tailgate from the theater, and I honestly can't remember like what we did, so like I'm not gonna try to talk about it, right? Yeah, so this is in 23. Okay. So on 7-Eleven, and for those who know me, 7-Eleven, I be going to 7-Eleven a lot. That's what it is. Forget about those who know me. I go to 7-Eleven quite often. I have like plus 30,000 points in 7-Eleven, which is a lot. Anyway, on 7-Eleven, on 2023, I had skate night with my nephews, with Louis and CJ. And it was cool. I was skateboarding, and they were on like some VO bikes, and we were just riding around Class and Point, like super kind of quiet territory, and we just kind of riding around together. And like, we went through the water. There was like a fire hydrant open. Like, it was nice. It was a very cool night. And I know that may not seem like a lot to you guys, but that was a really cool night for me. Like, I got to spend like really quality time with my nephews, and that was nice. That was until, all right, so let's see. Squeakin continued. Sorry, I'm like looking through these pages. Once I get through this podcast, I'll be able to just talk and not have to worry about what I'm reading and going through stuff. Yeah, anyway. So 8/20/23, so August 20th and 23. That was Joey's show. My god brother Joseph is a professional wrestler, and he did a show, so I went to that for him. Funny Girl. on Broadway at the August Wilson Theater closed on September 3rd, 2023. So that was my last day at Funny Girl. On September 4th, the day after, I skydived 4 times. I did some head down jumps, or I attempted some head down jumps. I can't really like keep a head down. Like now I could a little bit, but at then I definitely couldn't. So I was unemployed for like from then on, right? I didn't have that job, and since Funny Girl closed, that was the only job I had. So I was just looking for a job, and then I spoke to a friend, and he said that he'd give me an interview at Golden Corral. So he did, and I got the interview, and I did the interview, and it went well, and I got hired. So on September 8th, I started at Golden Corral. Throughout my life, I mean, you can see me, like I'm brown, like I'm light brown, but I'm brown still, right? And people assume because I am brown that I have a spice tolerance, but I did not pass that. I did not. I had no spice tolerance. I hated anything spicy. I couldn't handle anything spicy. It was too much for me. I immediately need some drink. So I made a goal in order to get over the spicy lack of tolerance. And I worked my way up. I had Kung Pao chicken. Like, that was like the first thing I had, which is like not really spicy. But I worked my way up. I got hot sauces. There's a place called Pepper Palace. It's on like 50 something and Broadway. And they have like hundreds of hot sauces. And you can like try the hot sauces. I got Cinnamero, like cinnamon habanero. Really good. Really good. Anyway, so I'm trying hot sauces. Rosemary gave me this like black hot sauce that was really spicy that they sell at Pepper Palace, which is how I got the recommendation from it. Really spicy. I had that. I kept going up. Then I finally concluded it with the one chip challenge. That one chip challenge was rough. It was hard. 10 minutes. My face was going numb. My like everything was super hot. And it was rough to do, but I did it. And the next 3 days, shit, horrible. It was horrible. Oh my god, I was blowing fire on my but yeah. So let's see. I'm continuing on. I'm reading, so please excuse my little like pauses and things like that. On February 5th, 2024, I lost my wallet, which is, I guess, not that, significant, because I feel like I've lost my wallet a couple times, so it's not that much, not that big of a deal. But I lost my wallet. On February 11th, I did a heli jump. Probably at New Cavu, if I had to guess, around there. That's my guess, but that's just what it is. On April 22nd of 2024, Cabaret opened. Opening night of Cabaret, like actually opening night. It was doing previews before that, but it actually opened. That was a crazy night. That was I had a lot to drink. I drank a lot. I had probably like, I don't even know. I had maybe like 11 drinks plus a couple shots. Very drunk. Yeah, I mean, yeah, not really gonna talk too much about that party, but yeah, that party was interesting. 524 rather, May 4th, I had a tournament, a jiu-jitsu tournament. That's all I have written down here. If you're curious, you can ask me about it, and I'll go back and look at the videos, but that's all I have written here, so that's all I'm saying right now. 510, Colorado. Colorado was interesting. I went to Live Like You're Dying by Tim McGraw. It's a song that Brennan and Tyler put me onto when we were driving to Bren's belly camp in North Carolina in like 2021, something like that. And they showed me this song, and I wanted to do it. It's bull riding, skydiving, and Rocky Mountain climbing. So I went to Colorado in order to try to do all three. I did not get to bull ride because I didn't have health insurance, which I skydive. So it's like, I skydive, I can't bull ride. But now being where I'm at, I know bull riding's way more dangerous than skydiving. But yeah, so I went to do all three. I did get to Rocky Mountain climb. I climbed the northern table. That was fun. That was interesting. It wasn't too hard, but it was nice. I got sunburned. I was so fucking mad. I got sunburned. Like, it was cold. It was like 10 degrees colder in Colorado than it was in New York. And it wasn't like, it was like chilly. and I still got sunburned. I was very upset with that. I ended up doing like jujitsu the next day, and that was fun, but I had sunburn, so that wasn't great. I got back. Oh wait, before for on like the 16th, they had the Northern Lights. The Aurora Borealis was visible in our part of the United States. So what I did was I was going to Denver most of the days from in Colorado. I was going to Denver. I was like just outside of Denver, but it was the third day, so I was like, you know what? Instead of going towards it, I'm gonna spend an hour just walking the other way, just getting away from the light so I can see the sky properly. Maybe like 5-10 minutes into it, there's this like homeless chick that's like on the side. She's like talking. She's kind of like mumbling, and she like says something to me, or it seemed like she was saying something to me, and like I wanted to say what, but I was like, I'm not gonna deal with it. I'm just gonna keep walking. I walk down, see some sights, see some bunnies. There's a lot of bunnies in Colorado randomly. And then I walk back. As I'm walking back, she comes up to me. Like, this is 2 hours later. Like, I saw her in the beginning of my walk. I walked an hour one way and an hour back. And I found her back in the same spot. She comes up to me. She goes, hey, do you know where I could get anything warm to eat? And mind you, I just walked straight, right? So I'm like, oh, 7-Eleven, like 15-20 minutes down there. Like, that way. She was like, oh, do you want to come with me? And I was like, not really. Because I'm trying to get home. To the hotel. I'm trying to get back. And I just walked 2 hours. Like, no, I want to sleep. I don't want to walk another 30 minutes back in the same direction. So I can walk another 30 minutes back. No, thank you. I appreciate it. No. She's like, you want to just hang out? And I was like, all right, walking this way. So we just start walking, and she's telling me about her life, and she's telling me, like, she seemed like she was hurt about her relationship, and that my guess is that's what drove her into the lifestyle that got her to where she is. And then we're getting close to my hotel, and I'm like, damn, I don't want her to know where I'm at. Especially I'm on the first floor too. Like, you can, like, if my covers, my blinds, curtains, if they're not like fully like moved over, you can like see me while I'm sleeping, right? So I'm like, damn, how am I gonna get rid of her? And then there's this other like homeless dude, and he's posted up at a bus stop, and he has a bunch of shit, like carts, and like it looks like he like set up shop there, right? And she stops and she looks at like all his stuff, and she starts like looking and talking to him, and I just keep walking. Just keep going. That's it. So that was an interesting little time in Colorado. I had a nice time. I did a skydive, and I trained. So I did the American Superhero for Colorado. I skydived at Mile High skydiving, and then I trained. I forgot the name. Yikes, I forgot the name of where I trained, but it was a good place. Ask me if you have any questions about anything I'm saying right now. Like, feel free to like hit me up on Instagram, or like text me if you got my number, and just ask me. I'll happily tell you. I'll just look it up real quick on my own phone or whatever. When I came back, my friend Lex came over. He lives in Florida, and he came to New York, so that was nice to like see him again. We trained together. He's a white belt. I'm a blue belt, but I've been a blue belt for a while. So it says. Yeah, Lex. Yeah, I said it. Let's see. So on May 25th, I did my first angle jump at Skydive the Ranch. So angle is like when you're skydiving, normally you kind of falling just straight down, but you can position your body or maneuver your body in a way that you're moving sideways, right? But in an angle jump, you're doing like both. So you're going at an angle. You're going like not only vertical but horizontal as well. So you're going at an angle, and it's cool. It's very fast. It's exciting. So I did that. That was fun. It went well. I plan on doing a lot more. Like I want to get good at angle jumps. And that was 4. That was 4, right? So I did like 1. This is just a paper. I don't know. 1, 2, and then 3, 4. All right. Why is it like that? I don't know. All right. And now 5. 5. So this is the end of. So on August 24th, I did a tournament. I got armbarred twice in that tournament, and I ended up having my arm like kind of hurt. Like it was hurt for a little while. But it was fine. September 12th through the 16th was TSK again, right? TSK is around that same time every year. and I was just putting stuff in my hair. Somebody put something in my hair, and then I put a bunch of stuff in my hair, and by the end of the night, I had like 15 things in my hair. It was cool. My coworker Chris, shout out Chris H, he came skydiving while I was there. He had a good time. He enjoyed it. So again, always glad to have someone come skydive and like it. 9/29 on September 29th, I did another heli jump. That was cool. I mean, the heli jumps are fun. They're not high, so it's like you don't really get much of the free fall part, but you get parachute. So, and the exit is fun. That's the end of 2024. That's what I got for 2024. This is 2025. We're in July, about to be August, and 2025. I don't have a lot written down, but it feels like it's been a hell of a year already. I mean, granted, it's more than halfway done, so like already is a, you know, kind of a non-useful word in this situation, considering it's like more than 50% or whatever the case may be. So in January, I went to Texas to go bull riding because I found the place that you go bull riding without the health insurance. I went bull riding. I got on the bull 2 times. The first time, I got ready. As soon as I like nodded my head, you know, for them to open the door, I was on my back on the bull and I fell off like sideways, just like straight, like just body to floor, like parallel. And I like took the air out of me and I was like, ow. And then the people on the side were like, ow, like making fun of me, which is, I thought it was funny. Then the second one, I get on the bull, give the nod. Same thing happened, kind of. I was on the bull's back, like I was laying down on the bull's back. And I kind of bop, bop, bop. Then I went off to the side, and I think I was trying to like hang on with my leg a little bit, and I like bent my leg. That shit fucking hurt so bad. I was pretty injured because it lasted like 3 months. But I wasn't like permanently injured. Like my knee's fine now, so I guess I'm okay. I happen to be in Texas. First of all, I like Waffle House. Hold on. In Texas, they have Waffle House, and I've never been to a Waffle House before Texas, but I went, and it's nice. I like Waffle House, and I like grits. I've never had grits until Waffle House, but they're nice. Anyway, okay, so I go to Texas during the first snow in 4 years, and my flights got shut down. The city of like Houston got like shut down. Like I went out with a friend and it was, and like everything got shut down early because of the storm that was coming. Me being a New Yorker, yeah, it was like an inch, like maybe. Like if I'm saying 2 inches, like I feel like I could be like vastly like overestimating how much snow there was. Like it was almost nothing. Like I wish I could show you pictures. I was so upset that it kept me there for longer than I needed to be, considering it wasn't that much, but it was. So it was snowing, and they're not used to that. It doesn't snow in Texas. I just brought the snow with me. I was there for 4 days. Somehow I get caught in that. But yeah, so that was an interesting time, but I didn't get to skydive because I tried to skydive and I found out that my USPA was out of date and my reserve was out of date. What the fuck am I doing with my life? So I got that situated now, but I wasn't able to skydive in Texas. So I did get to train in Texas, but I do have to go back to Texas to skydive. And I found out that John Danaher and Gordon Ryan are in Texas. So if I go, I'm probably going to go back and try to train with them. In February of 25, I got a fight offer for a professional fight against Joey Mendez, who is a reality show star. At 175 pounds. That's the weigh-in. 175 pounds. He's had 1 fight. He wasn't experienced. And yeah, so I got the offer from Peter, who was a instructor of mine, and I would say like a friend of mine, an instructor of mine back when I trained when I first started training in 2013. He taught judo. And he also ran UCL, which was where I had my first fight, which was a smoker, like a legal fight. So that was not legal, just like underground. But so that was so he offered that. I was maybe like 185 at the time, so I only had to lose like 10 pounds. Made weight, no problem. So let me talk about the actual fight itself. It was April 24th. That was the date of the fight. I got there like April 20th, and we had to do like media and stuff, but I was getting driven everywhere by like the personal driver, whatever. I got to know him. That was cool. The fight itself, I felt like nervous. Like leading up to the fight, almost the whole time I was fine. I was chill. I was super relaxed, like almost like oddly relaxed. And then when it was time to get, to make that walk, all of a sudden, like all the emotions kind of just like came over me, and I felt like I was nervous. And we, they called my name, and I walked in, and then the fight started. I would have to look at the fight again to see like exactly what happened. It was, but we started. My favorite shot is a check hook, and I caught him with a really good check hook. Like it was fucking beautiful. Like I hit him hard. So that was an interesting like shot for me. I hit him really hard, and then after I hit him, he was looking angry the whole time. Like before, like during the fight, he was looking angry, and then I hit him with that hook, and then he looked scared, and I just kind of got his face. And I was like, yeah, like what? And then I didn't capitalize. I didn't like continue. I threw a body kick, that landed cleanly, and like I watched the video. Like I remember specifically when I threw that kick. When it landed clean. Like, it wasn't a question about it landed clean. When you watch the video, it kind of looks like it's not clean. And I watched that video, and I was like, no, it does look like that. And that was my own personal thing. It wasn't someone telling me. It was just like, I was like, yeah, it does kind of look like it wasn't clean. But I can assure you, that kick was clean. And the ref called it clean, too. And he called it clean. We kept going. During the lead up to the fight, I made friends with Marino. And I was hanging out with him and his coach, Joseph, and he was telling me about the jab, and jab's my favorite punch. Check hook's my best punch, but jab is my favorite punch, if that makes sense. So it's my favorite punch. I usually just kind of throw it out there, but he was telling me, like, I had a panda on my shirt. He's like, oh, don't let me see the panda. So to like turn my shoulders so I could, get more distance, and I could be less available for like body shots, which is like good. I ended up throwing one jab, and he started bleeding from his nose. People said I broke his nose, but I didn't break his nose. But he was bleeding from his nose after the one jab. And he was just kind of rushing me. He was kind of just blitzing me, and he was catching me. I had my hands down. I was moving straight back in a line, which I shouldn't do, and he was just catching me. I guess he dropped me in the first round, but it wasn't like I was standing still or stationary and I got caught and then I fell. I was moving back, and like the force of the shot like made me fall. Like it was almost like a takedown, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't a knockdown, as a takedown. Again, those are for specific MMA stuff. But so I did that the first round. And then he, like a little bit after the body shot that I threw, the kick that I threw, he threw a nut shot, and I don't know, like it didn't really hurt, like it wasn't really super painful, but I felt like I was out of it. Like I felt like I couldn't, like I felt like I was kind of picking up a groove as I was going, and I felt like that kind of killed the momentum. And then then I just kind of got beat up after that. He kept blitzing, he kept doing the same thing, it was working. He got me on the ground, and when I was on the ground, I was just taking shots. I wasn't defending properly. I was waiting for him to make mistakes on the ground because I felt like I was a lot more experienced than him regarding jiu-jitsu. So I was kind of waiting for him to do something dumb and then trying to capitalize it instead of getting up. Both times he knocked me down right in front of his corner. So his corner's just talking to him right there. And I'm like, fuck, they're speaking Spanish. I don't speak Spanish, so I don't even know what they're saying. So like, yeah, that happened. So I need to... I came home. My face was fucked up. Like, I'm probably gonna post a picture maybe later in the year, but I was scary looking. Like, it was bad. Like, I went to the beach like the day after, and some dude, it was like at night, and some dude, as I'm walking by, he goes, and I'm like, oh, professional MMA fight. And he goes, oh, okay, that makes sense. And I'm like, Okay, cool, that makes sense. But what if I didn't have a great excuse for that? Like, that would have been so messed up. Anyway, so I come home and I just kind of like getting back into the, the feel of things and all that stuff. And um, my dad told me I need to work on my boxing because my dad, he did boxing when he was younger. He had some fights. I can never find the fights, but he had fights, some boxing matches. Um, so my dad told me that I needed to work on my boxing. And it's rough. Speaking of my dad, um, I was doing truck, and oh my god, I was doing truck. I like taking the inventory. I apologize. I was taking the inventory for Golden Corral in the morning, and then I got home, and I was waiting to go to training, to go to MMA in the morning, and I got a call from my sister, and she asked if I'm home, and she sounded like panicky, and I was like, yeah, I'm home. She's like, okay, good, we're coming right now. And I'm like, well, coming? Like, what the, like, they seemed urgent. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm not going to training today. And she's like, okay, we're picking you up. So you're like, be ready in this amount of time, whatever. So I got ready, and then I get in the car, and she tells me that dad died. And that was, I mean, I'm fucking bawling now thinking about it, but that was the hardest point in my life, I would say. I love my dad, and I feel like I didn't show him that love as much as I should have. So that, like, bothers me. Golden Corral and Cabaret, everyone at the theater, both my jobs were very sweet, regarding my dad. So appreciate all of you for that. Sorry, I expect to cry right now. But yeah, there's this song by Dean Lewis called "How Do I Say Goodbye," and I remember hearing this song like a while ago, like years ago, like maybe a year ago or something like that. It was a good amount of time ago, and I remember when listening to the song way before it happened, thinking like, when I lose my dad, this song is gonna kill me. And it wasn't too long after it happened that I heard the song, and it definitely did destroy me. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't mean to cry, but here I am being vulnerable. So we had the memorial service like almost a week after, maybe. And yeah, it was like, I've seen people at the memorial service that I haven't seen in years, and it's like, damn, like it's so horrible that this is what brings us together, like this is why we're seeing each other now, because of this is the only reason, otherwise, like, who knows when. So yeah, spend time with the people you care about, spend time with the people you love. And we were gonna go to Puerto Rico. Like, I was finally gonna go to my dad's home country, like where he's from. And yeah, so everyone was sweet, everyone was really nice. I guess, I'm still adjusting, still trying to figure out like what to do, I want to work on my boxing a lot because my dad. So yeah, my dad spent a lot of time, he wasn't a very mobile person. He spent a lot of time at his chair in the room upstairs, and like, he would kind of lean out the window and talk to you and say something. And so after he passed away, I noticed I would keep looking up at the window. I kind of expected him to be there, just like habit, just kind of like expecting dad to be looking out the window saying something, you know? He's not. I remember when someone who was very close to me had their parents pass away. I know what to say. I had no idea how to respond. Like, what the fuck do you say to someone who just lost a parent? You know? I remember not knowing what to say. And then being in that position, losing my parent, it's not really much to say. You can't really, there's nothing that you're gonna say really that's gonna make them feel better, you know? You just gotta show them that you love them, tell them you love them. That would help, I guess, you know, telling somebody you love them. And just showing them, you know? I think it's important to show people that we love them and to show up for people. You know, I've made it a habit to say I love you to people as they're leaving, and I'm happy that I did that. And you just gotta keep going, keep living, right? Like life is not gonna stop until it stops for you. So I'm gonna get ready, get dressed, and my brother-in-law is about to pick us up because we're going to Puerto Rico. So I will drop another podcast hopefully sometime after I come back from Puerto Rico. Until then, I love all of you. I hope you say it to the people that you care about and live life.